ready, let me know.
Hello, my name is Greta Wolking,
I'm Simon Helen.
And I'm Will Furlow.
and we are from James Madison University. We would like to thank you, Facebook's current board of directors, for inviting us, the Madison consultants, back to the board to discuss the ethical issues with Facebook's current privacy policy model. Just to remind the board, at our last meeting, we discussed how Facebook collects users' information and sells it to marketing companies. By creating an account, users are automatically given consent to having their information collected, and they can only change this if they decide to later opt out of the information collection. Our team also discussed how users currently perceive this model as unethical, and we outlined the various problems with this privacy policy. We went over the pending changes in the legal environment, as well as the financial risks of the current model. We suggested that the board abandons the current privacy model and instead adopts a more ethically sound model, one where the users would have to opt in to have their information collected and sold to advertisers. In our ethical evaluation, we asked 8 key questions developed by the Madison Collaborative. These are featured on the back of the card that we have handed to you. They are fairness, outcomes, responsibilities, character, liberty, empathy, authority, and rights. These 8 key considerations are all important to consider for any ethical dilemma, and an easy way to remember them is through their acronym, for clear decision making. We will now go through each of the questions one by one, so that the board has the information they need in order to proceed.
The first question we considered was fairness, and it asks, how can Facebook act fairly and balance all interests? What this question comes down to is how to balance the interests of the users, the shareholders, and the marketing companies. It is important to understand the complex relationship that these stakeholders are involved with, which all starts with Facebook collecting user information and selling it to marketing companies. The marketing companies then generate targeted advertisements that end up in the hands of the users. As you can see, these stakeholders are all interconnected, and if one of them fails, the whole system that Facebook relies on fails as well. Without your users, Facebook's success could never have happened. Therefore, it is crucial that the users are treated fairly, no matter who they are or where they're from.
Next is outcomes, which asks what actions achieve the best short-term and long-term outcomes. We believe a model where users have to opt into having their information collected is the best solution moving forward. In the short term, it will increase users' trust in Facebook, and in the long term, it will help Facebook retain, sustain, and grow its user base, all of which are things that you mentioned in your annual report as being top priorities.
Next is responsibilities, where we ask, what duties and obligations does Facebook have? It is in every stakeholder's best interest that Facebook acts responsibly to all of its users. As a corporation, Facebook of course has to act responsibly with its shareholders' interest in mind. However, Facebook cannot remain profitable without its users. And if users feel as if their information is being mistreated, they will decrease sharing activity, which will make Facebook less attractive to marketers. Is it not then in your best interest to act responsibly to all of your users? After responsibility comes character, which asks what action best reflects the company Facebook aspires to be. Your mission statement, as you know, is to make the world more open and connected. Currently, user perception is that Facebook is taking advantage of user information and in order to generate profit without considering the consequences this must have to the user. Is this really how you want your company to be perceived? Taking action through an opt-in policy will demonstrate that Facebook truly cares about transparency towards the users and will allow you to be the company you aspire to be.
The 5th question is liberty, which asks, how does respect for informed consent apply? Under the current model, consent is obtained, but unknowingly to the user. Many users don't even know how their information is being used, due to the present policy being difficult to find and hard to understand. An opt-in policy, which would be clearly written and in layman's easy-to-understand terms, would be easy enough for the average user to understand so that they can be informed enough to provide proper consent.
Next is empathy, which asks, how do you feel about the way that you treat your users? By implementing the opt-in model, Facebook has the opportunity to become the first ethically sound social media company in the world. Doing so would optimize their users' experience by placing them at the core of Facebook's model, which would make them feel appreciated, thereby increasing the levels of trust between Facebook and its users, and it shows that it really does pay to care. Next is authority. What do legitimate authorities expect of Facebook? The most obvious authorities that come to mind right off the bat are government and other regulatory bodies. Facebook's users, however, are another form of authority that they must comply with. Not only are users able to provide checks and balances to Facebook through legal measures, but they're also Facebook's main source of revenue. It is imperative that Facebook complies with all these regulatory bodies and authorities. In the near future, it's very likely that your current business model may be deemed illegal. So going forward, using our customized opt-in model for you, you'll be able to operate seamlessly by conforming to standardized policy regulations.
Lastly, when ethically evaluating this decision, the Madison consultants questioned rights, asking what rights do users and Facebook have? Users' privacy rights are vague as it stands, but ethically speaking, users have a right to privacy and a right to knowledge. They have a right to withdraw consent at any time, as well as be properly informed about what data is being collected. Only an opt-in policy can satisfy this requirement. In addition, this policy would guarantee that Facebook has the right to collect and utilize user information.
Based on these questions, the Madison consultants strongly recommend moving forward with the opt-in policy. By following the 8 key questions, it ensures that we provide the most ethical solution, and it also gives users control over their own personal privacy, and we can move forward knowing that we place the users at the core of our business. In addition to this, the opt-in policy is a way for us to reconnect with our mission, to make the world a more open and connected place.
Thank you.
Thank you.